Hello, I am Stephen Christensen. I'd like to show you a tip that will make your Photoshop go a lot faster. What I find myself doing a lot is I take images that I've processed that are large. This one's 6,000 by 4,000. And what I want to do is downsize them, convert them so that I can save them for the web and apply my watermark. So I do that a lot, and that's actually built into the Advanced Stacker Plus. But if you wanted to set this up yourself, it's pretty simple to do. Let me show you how it works. First of all, you have to have the Actions palette open, which you can find with Windows Actions. And then you will create a new action set by clicking the folder. I'm going to call my action set demo because this is a demo. And I need to create an action. So I'm going to record an action. Now, the only thing I need to have to make this work is I have to have an image to start with. It's not going to actually do this on this image, but it will live as I record it. I'm going to call this action downsize and watermark because that's what I want it to do. And I'm going to downsize and watermark for Instagram, which prefers 1080 format. So let me record the actions. I'm going to assign them to a key. I'm going to assign them to the F8 Shift key. This color is just the color it shows in button mode, so irrelevant what this is. Now I'm going to record. Now, the tricky part about creating actions is it's hard to get them to work across any kind of file type. So I'm going to show you a few steps that should always work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the History palette, and I'm going to click down here. This is to create a new document from the current state. And boom, it's created this new layer called, in this new document called delete layer. Now, what it's calling it is based on whatever last action I did, which is kind of silly. It would be great if it was based on this name, but that's okay. I don't really care. What I'm going to do at this point is I am going to flatten this document and apply a watermark. So to flatten the document, it's layer. Come on, down here in the bottom, flatten image. It's bringing up something to tell me that there's hidden layers here. Do I want to discard them? Yes. That's also, by the way, one of the problems you sometimes have when creating actions. In this case, since I told it to, it will just remember that in this thing that I'm recording. So I flattened it. What else do I want to do? Well, I want to add my watermark. So I will do File, Place Linked. I'm going to pick my watermark, which is here. And because I have resizing on place turned on automatically in my settings, it did this. Otherwise, it would be too big. In other words, this is a very large watermark that then resizes based on the width of the document that you have. I'm just going to leave it there, although I probably want to make it a little more subtle. That's something I'll clean up after the fact. So what have I done? I've taken an image. I've converted it to a flat document, added my watermark. To do the rest of the actions, what I want to do is I want to convert this document into something for the web. So I'm going to assign convert to a profile. The profile is sRGB. That's mostly what you save on the web because normally I work in Adobe ProPhoto color space because it has much more colors. And it's going to warn me that there's something here that has to be rasterized, namely it's my watermark. That's fine with me. And again, it will remember that I did that. So now I have converted it. What I need to do now is downsize it. This is also where interesting bad things can happen. I'm going to say in this case, image size 1080. Now, if you're running an action, what happens if it's smaller than 1080? Or what if the dimension and the height is what you want to do? It's tricky to get that to work, so I'm just going to assume that these are landscape documents for right now, and we'll save the complicated part for another day. So now it is downside that document. When I do this, I also want to make it visible. So how would you make it visible? You would say View, Fit on Screen. Okay, I'll do that. But did you notice it didn't record it? That's because Photoshop doesn't record everything you do. Things like changing the display of the screen, it doesn't record. To get around that, you would do File, click on the Action palette here, do Insert Menu Item, pick the menu item you want, which is now View Fit on Screen, and OK. So now it recorded it. So now I'm done. Now, normally I would, at this point, save the document with some useful name. So stop recording. But that's something I'll have to decide later. I certainly don't want to call it delete layer. Just to show you that I've not done anything crazy, I'm going to close this document. And I'm going to run this Shift F8 key. Shift F8. Boom. Look what it just did. It reduplicated everything I just did. If I had another image open, I could try that just for fun. Open recent. There's got to be this one. How about this one? Here's an image. Okay, it's an illustration. I can do Shift F8 for this one as well. Shift F8. And look what it did. It downsized it and it added my watermark. Now, of course, the next step that I would take would be to save those documents. In this case, I would do File, Save As. And you could have recorded this step too, but the tricky part is when you record a Save As, it remembers the document name. So I'm going to call it Secret Dreams of Wales. That's just what I call it. Replace it, and so forth. Now, I could have automated that step too, but it's a little trickier. You could automate the save as a particular file type. That is easy to do without doing the size. All right, hopefully that'll help you get an idea how to automate your Photoshop to make things zing, do stuff that you do a lot with one step, in this case, one key.